Scorpios, this is your monthly astrological forecast for the month of November 2016. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. And before we get started, just wanted to remind you guys that this is a general forecast for anybody born under the sun, moon, or rising sign in the sign of Scorpio. And don't forget that you are more than one sign, Scorpio. I know you're all about being a Scorpio, but you're not just a Scorpio. That's only one element of your personality. If you're a Scorpio sun, check out your moon and your rising sign. And don't forget to watch the videos for those as well. And if you don't know what those are, I posted a link down below to where you can go and pull up your birth chart. If you know your time of birth, that's how you know your rising sign. If you don't, you know what? You can still see everything else going on that was going on up there. So the as above, so below. You can see how that affects you and your personality. And if you would like a personal reading to look at your chart and explain it, or even look at like a life event or something going on for you right now or in the future or the past, I would so love to look at that for you. Go to my website, which is also below, which is indigomoonastrology.com, and I would love to schedule a reading with you. All right, so on to your general November forecast. All right, Scorpio, so this month we're trying something new, okay? I have a circular chart that I bought that has little symbols and houses and planets and stuff. So I can physically demonstrate what the energy is like based on the planetary activity. And I can show you guys. And it's really cool. It is kind of transparent, so it may be just a little bit hard to see. So forgive me for that. I'm still working with it. But yeah, let's go check it out and see what's going on for us Scorpios this month. All right, my fellow Scorpions. So here's what's going on with us this month in my new little chart that I have here. So let's talk about the sun's energy first and foremost. And the sun continues to be in our sign, in the sign of Scorpio, throughout the first 3 weeks of November. So the sun in our first house, the sun in our sign. And what that means for us is we're super energized. We're really putting ourselves out there. We're feeling good. A lot of us are focusing on looking good because the first house is the house of the appearance and the body. So we can be wanting to really shine out into the world and have everybody focus on those things, our appearance and our body. So maybe really working out, maybe focusing on making some changes to our appearance, like our hair, anything to make any changes in the appearance that's very positive and that draws attention. Some of us may be doing stuff like that. Maybe doing a lot of shopping, especially because I'll talk about Venus in a sec. Well, actually, Venus is in Sagittarius for the first couple weeks in our second house. So, while the sun is here in Scorpio, we're like, woo, we want to look good and shine out and get attention. So Venus is here in our second house of the material world. That can mean a lot of shopping. I know I have been guilty of that, wanting to look good, going shopping. It's been hard to resist, wanting to get some new attire, some fresh new gear, to look good, you know what I mean, to shine out. So up until the 21st, the sun is still in Scorpio. It's a good time to, not just focus on your appearance, but to really initiate something new, initiate new projects, new anything. This is a good time also for Scorpios who are looking for a new job, a career change, a change in direction with life path. The first house also deals with that, with the life path and the life purpose. So the sun here can really help us to put an emphasis and a focus in that area. Now let's talk about Mars, who is our ancient day ruling planet. Mars is the planet of action, aggression, drive, and really pointing its arrow at things and just going full speed ahead with tunnel vision is how Mars affects Scorpio. So on the 9th of November, Mars will move into the sign of Aquarius. For us, this is our fourth house here at the bottom of the chart, which rules the home life, the family. So if we put action and aggression and drive together with home and family, well, you do the math. What do you get? You get an emphasis on maybe moving, on renovating things within the home, moving things around in the home. If you're staying in one home, one spot, it can just be making some changes. Maybe you need some things knocked down and rebuilt, or maybe you might need some things fixed. A lot of times when Mars has gone into my fourth house, or I've seen it gone into other people's fourth house, that's a time where they may, some things may break down and need some fixing. Okay. And this also sometimes counts for vehicles, because vehicles can also mean property that you own. That's kind of like like a home or a vehicle. Okay. So they can be the fourth house as well. So I would say watch out for your vehicles, your appliances within the home, anything that's functioning within the home that's like systematic. Be very watchful of those things, because they may need some fixing. They may break down during this time. And if they don't, then you may just yourself find reasons to fix things around your house. Start looking around. You know what? This wall has like a chip spot in it, and I just feel like now just fixing it. You start noticing things like that. But also Mars is aggression, and on a negative side, with this being home and family, there can be some aggression within the family. So I would be mindful and careful with that as well. This can be you wanting to lash out against family members. It can easily agitate you and irritate you and get on your nerves. And you know what? For a lot of people, especially in the US, this is the beginning of holiday season. This is the time of year when a lot of people get together with their family. And there may be some family members that are irritating to you, and you may not have the patience with them, because Mars energy is very impatient. Okay, so just be watchful of that energy starting on November 9th. If it's not you, then there can be some family conflicts that come up that are like out of your control. And the best thing for you to do is just to try to stay out of it. Or if you do get involved, just really try to just be a great mediator, Scorpio, and don't like egg people on, and don't egg on the conflicts. Okay, so that's Mars moving into Aquarius on the 9th of November. So now let's talk about Mercury. So Mercury is the planet of communication and skills of the hands and short distance traveling. Mercury, it's in Scorpio for the first 12 days, and then it moves into Sagittarius on the 12th. So Sagittarius is our second house here. The second house is our earned income. It's our resources. It's the finances that we get from working hard at a job or whatever. So with Mercury moving here, this is our logical thinking. It's our mind. It's what we're thinking about, what we're communicating about, what we're trying to manage, what we're trying to organize. So that is our finances. So once again, if you're a Scorpio looking for a job, shining out to the world positively, hopefully, and not too arrogantly, which the sun can also do in the first house sometimes. So shining out to the world positively, and then your mind and your communication could be on work, making money, maybe talking to potential employers, or like a second job perhaps, of how you can be a good employee and bring some value, which the second house also deals with, to that company, to that organization, and why they should hire you. So if you're looking for a job, Scorpio, this is one of those favorable months for you. But if you're not looking for a job, this can also just mean your mind is on your money and your money's on your mind, like Snoop Doggy Dogg. You're just really thinking about money, looking around at your resources, how you're spending, how you're earning, how you're budgeting, and maybe redoing some things, taking a good cold, hard look at your money. Okay, so when Venus is in here, when Venus was in here, Venus actually moves out of Sagittarius on the same day that Mercury moves in. So she goes to your third house, which we will get to in a minute. But so when Venus was here, she maybe made you kind of a little bit more indulgent and spendthrift. And, the energy of Sag in general is not the best with money. It's like very free spirited all the way around, especially with money. It's like, oh, there's a magical money tree. Like it'll just grow back, and, it'll just come back to us like magically somehow. We can just spend, woo, money in the air. Like we just don't care, right? Making it rain all the time when Venus was in Sag. And now Mercury comes here and it's like, Venus, what did you do? Like, what kind of damage did you do to our finances? Let me check. Let me organize. Let me manage this stuff. Let's see what's going on here. So Mercury's going to help us to take a look at our finances and maybe redo our budgeting, like organize and manage things, and get those credit card bills that we racked up when Venus was in our second house in order, figure out a plan to get them paid off. And just really thinking about money pretty much, and maybe looking around at your resources that you use. I'm talking about water, electricity, gas, those type of utilities that you use around your house. That's also your resources. Food is a resource. You're going to be taking a look at your spending in those areas and see what you can do to make those things more efficient for you. So that's Mercury entering Sag on the 12th of November and will be there the whole month. Now, as I mentioned, also on the 12th, Venus moves into Capricorn. This is our third house. The third house is communication, it's short distance travel, it's chatting it up with people on a surface level and not getting too deep. And Scorpio, sometimes we need that, okay? Because Scorpio is an energy that's very, very deep. Our minds go deep and, you know, we're very psychological. We like to psychoanalyze people and situations all the time on a very serious level. So sometimes we need that lightheartedness in our lives that is kind of surface level and can just kind of, you know, talk to somebody and then skip away like, oh, that was a nice conversation, instead of dwelling and psychoanalyzing them and being like, I wonder who they really are on the inside. I wonder what they're really like, and wonder what their thoughts really are. And, you know, I want to know them beneath the surface. No, when Venus comes into the third house in general, it's like more, you know, light and flirty and fun energy. What I would say is to be careful with Venus in the third. If you are not single, this can be a time where you feel a little bit more free with yourself, with just chatting with people, chatting with strangers, chatting with people that you find interesting or maybe even attractive. And to you, it's like, oh, this is just a conversation. Who cares? But maybe to your significant other, it can get you in a little trouble because they're like, why are you talking to this person? Why are you flirting with them? Why did you give out your number, Scorpio? You are taken, you're committed, and you're like, I don't know, we just had things in common. I thought we can have a good conversation. You can get caught up with that with Venus in your third house. But Venus does rule, you know, enjoyments. You can enjoy some third house things a lot more right now, which is reading some, you know, stories and books, maybe not like the really deep, long ones that have like a lot of pages and chapters, like say, for example, the opposite house, which is the ninth house. That's what that rules. But the third is like, oh, you just kind of skippity doo dah, read a couple things at the same time, you know, multitask. You're probably always going to be on your phone a lot more if you're the type of person that has a smartphone, which everybody does now pretty much. But, you know, if you're that type of person that's, you can probably, like, it's going to be hard for you to put your phone down, okay, and stay off of Twitter and Instagram and, you know, Snapchat and all the social media. You may be a little bit more active on social media once Venus moves here on the 12th. Now, around the 25th, Venus is going to come in a conjunction with Pluto. Okay, so they're going to be together. So Pluto is one of our ruling planets, Scorpio. And when Venus, which is love and relationships, comes close to Pluto, you know, Pluto is like nicknamed like the god of the underworld, right? And you know, Venus energy is very light and fun and wants everything to be beautiful and peaceful. Well, he's going to cast a little bit of a shadow on our homegirl Venus right here, and can quite possibly make her a little bit jealous. And Scorpios, we know all about the energy of jealousy because it's just a natural part of our nature to feel jealousy, especially if we're in a relationship or we're very interested in someone. You know, you may be light and fun and flirty for a little while this month, but maybe you might meet somebody that you are kind of interested in. Oh, they're cute and, you know, they're fun and everything, and I talk to them here and there. But then once Venus meets Pluto, say, for example, that person is a little light and flirty with other people too, you may start to feel a little bit jealous. Like, you know what? Maybe I do want something more than just a lighthearted surface level friendship conversations with them. Maybe I do want something deeper than that, you know, on like a deeper level. And you start to feel a tinge of jealousy. And just in general, when Venus and Pluto come together, if you are in a relationship that's committed, it can like cause some, you know, jealousy and some possessiveness to come out. And I would say be very careful if you are a single Scorpio. Sorry for the noise. This is my home office. But anyway, if you're a single Scorpio, Venus goes into your third house this month and you're like, ooh, I'm going to start getting on Tinder or one of those like social dating sites, right? Online dating. Well, during the time that Venus comes in contact with Pluto, you may meet like some stalkery, like obsessive people, like guys or girls, whatever you're into. that maybe you just make some conversation with them and then keep it moving, and they keep messaging you and messaging you and messaging you. It's like, re, 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 re. So that's Pluto energies. It can be pretty obsessive. So I would say watch out for that if you're single around the 25th. And I know that is Thanksgiving here in the States. So, you may feel like bringing a friend that you're interested in home to your family to meet them and stuff, or to hang out for Thanksgiving, but to you it's on a casual level. To them, maybe a little deeper than that, and they'll think that you guys are married now. So I would say just to be mindful of the little bit intense energy of Venus and Pluto together around the 25th. One thing I forgot to mention, sorry to jump backwards, with Mercury being in Sagittarius in our second house. So Saturn is here. Saturn's going to be here. He sits here for a long time with his arms folded, looking at us with a scowl, making sure that we are doing right and acting right and learning our lessons. Okay, yes, drill sergeant. Okay. So Mercury is going to come into a conjunction with Saturn and Sagittarius on the 23rd. And when that happens, we may start thinking a little bit more seriously when it comes to our finances around that time. Okay, that may be the time where we may take a really cold, hard look at our finances and what we've been spending, what we've been doing, and maybe have some sort of reality check. That's what Saturn brings, is reality checks. So we need to be mindful and careful of that energy of reality checks. Make sure that you are budgeting and that you're sticking to it, okay? And then Saturn won't be that stingy old man that will snatch things away from you because he feels like you didn't learn your lesson with money. Just do what he says. Left, right, left, full speed ahead, straight ahead on a straight and narrow path of budgeting and saving, okay? That's what Saturn and Mercury's conversation is going to be all about around the 23rd. Now, on the 26th, Mercury here in our second house is going to make a positive aspect called a trine to Uranus and Aries in our sixth house. Now, our sixth house, it rules our work environment and our health. Okay, so I see these as they're two work and finance related houses. So this is a positive aspect. So like I said before, if you're a Scorpio that's looking for work or maybe a second job or a secondary type of income that you actually earn from working, okay, this aspect can all of a sudden bring like a second job to you, or that type of income that you're looking for. It can bring a great genius idea to you, which Uranus rules, that helps you, with your finances. Maybe you find, just on a simpler, smaller level, maybe you find an app, okay, that helps you to manage and organize your finances around this time, So that's around the 26th. There can be something related to work and your earned income that has a sudden change, or you have a sudden insight and vision into. So on the 21st, the sun moves into Sagittarius, which is our second house of earned income as well. So wherever the sun moves, he shines a big flashlight in that area of life for you. So he's shining even more of a light on your finances and helping you to see things more clearly. So I would say around the end of the month, the 21st on, is a very crucial time for us financially, Scorpio. So we're going to have to get it together, boo-boos, okay? We're going to have to get things in order. We're going to have to act right, be on that straight and narrow path with our finances. We may have had a lot of fun during Scorpio season, maybe dating, going out on dates, having a good time, spending money shopping. But guess what? Reality checks are coming if we've been overdoing it. If we haven't been, then you know what? We're still going to be seeing things a lot better to where we can better manage our money. So that's a good thing. So now let's talk about these moons, the lunar events this month. So there's a new moon and a full moon every single month. First of all, we have a full moon on the 24th of November. So that means the sun is in Scorpio. It's at 22 degrees. And then the moon is in Taurus. Okay. This is happening once again at 22 degrees. So they're in opposite signs. This is the first house of us, ourselves. This is the seventh house, the opposite sign, which is other people and relationships, one-to-one relationships. So these opposing energies here bring things to a breaking point, to where finally some sort of breakthrough happens that makes a significant change in our lives. So for us, Scorpio, has to do with relationships. This is going to be a very emotional time. This is a super moon. That means it's the closest to the earth, closer to the earth than usual on a regular full moon. And they say that the last time this happened was in the 1940s, and the next time it's going to happen again is I think in the 2040s or 2020s, something like that, but a little bit further ahead into the future. So this really, since it's so close to the earth, is so powerful, it's so intense. There can be a breakthrough or a final decision or a final something that happens with relationships for us Scorpios. It can be something like we decide to make a relationship permanent, make it committed. We decide to let go of a relationship. And the full moon can be a time of release and letting go. So this is going to really be a breaking point. If something no longer serves you, you're going to have to let it go. And it's going to be for the best, you know. So there can be some great healing afterwards, especially in the next month. The next full moon will be here in Gemini in our 8th house, the house of transformation. But we'll talk about that when I do the December horoscopes. So watch out for those. But this month, the full moon for us is highlighting us in relationships. You know, are we being valued in the relationship that we're in? Is it satisfying to us? You know, is it really meaningful to us? I mean, all of those things are going to be brought to light in a really big way on the 14th of November. So on the 29th of November, we have a a new moon at 7 degrees of Sagittarius here in our 2nd house of earned income. So look at all this activity we have here in our 2nd house of earned income. And the new moon is when the sun and moon are in the same sign and in the same degree. So they highlight that area and bring a fresh new beginning. So this is in regards to our earned income and our resources, okay? So the 2nd house deals with that. This can be a new beginning with money and how we earn our money, how we spend it, budget it, whatever. This can also be a new job for some of us Scorpios, a new way to earn money, maybe a second job. This can also deal with values and how you value yourself and how you value the material world in general, okay? So maybe you let go of a relationship, or maybe you got into a relationship and something brings things to more of a realization about your own values, how you value yourself and how you give yourself your value away to other people. In regards to this relationship, it can be on that level too, that this new moon brings something new about. And Saturn's here teaching us lessons not only about money, but about our self-worth, you know. So that's some really big lessons for us right now. So the new moon is definitely going to highlight those things on the 29th. All right, Scorpio, so that was it for our monthly forecast for November 2016. I really hope it was insightful for you guys. And don't forget to subscribe if you would like to see your monthly horoscope from me every single month. And if you would like a personalized reading that is unique to you and your chart and any type of situation that you have going on, go ahead and go to my website, which is indigomoonastrology.com, and hit me up there, and I would love to get a reading done for you. Okay, so take care of yourselves, and I will see you next month in December. Can you believe the year is almost over? 2017 is almost here, guys. All right, take care.